citizens in a position where they feel they have to pay this right now, or even try to make payment plans, because this is what I have to tell you, a lot of what I receive. I have a lot of senior citizen constituents. And so there is a fear of making payment plans because they feel if I make a payment plan, I'll never catch up.
Right.
So that's one reason why I say if there's anything we can do to amend not collecting this right now, further moving this down again, it's going to make, however it has to be done, it's going to make the bill higher when we already have higher bills. So I don't think there's no way, because we've already used the actual power. So it's not like it's power that we haven't used. The second thing is because I have constituents that are also seniors did not receive the text message or the billing memo that comes in the mail with the actual bill. And so many of my constituents had no idea until the bill hit. And so for the sake of the citizens, I saw 26,000. That's almost half of the people in Rocky Mount. That's almost half of the people in Rocky Mount. With those type of numbers, as a council, I think after we hear back Monday, it would be my hopes that we look at how we can have some type of amendment to it, an ordinance or policy that allows us to collect, even though this usage has been used, to collect these particular bills at a different time, to where we can put a communication out in front of what we're doing. Because again, a lot of why we're here is because of lack of communication. I believe if people knew that they were going to be hit with a double bill because of usage we used, although people would have still been upset and angry, I think it would have went over a lot smoother to be able to handle the situation. However, being that we're across that bridge and that spilled milk, I think, Mr. Attorney, if we could have some type of dialogue around or feedback around what our authority can be in this situation, because I've never been in this situation as a council member. I'm not sure what our authority is as it pertains to this situation without collecting it right now.
Well, obviously, the attorney will deal with the legal aspect of your request. But one of the things that I wanted to try to, I was hoping that we conveyed today was that the terminology. So customers were not double billed. I'll let the staff. One second. I want to let the staff address those inquiries. But if you have the thing is, if you have bills or invoices that have not been paid, the staff already has policy that allows them to collect them at a later date, and they're working with people on an individual basis.
Go ahead, Charles. You gotta hit the green.
Thank you, Latasha, for coming down and doing your presentation. Are you in a position now to take maybe the lady or one of their bills and walk through it with them? So maybe do a demonstration and show them what it is and how they're not being double billed?
Order. I want to do some, Mayor Pro Tem.
It's hostile.
I want to,
Mr. Robertson, so just so I'm clear, the question was whether now we could walk through an individual customer's bill?
Yes, the gentleman or the first
Yeah.
lady that said she was double billed. Okay, the gentleman or the first lady that said she was double billed, if we could walk through them and explain to them how they're not being double billed in the usage while we have the utility department here, I think that would go a long way. If we can get the bill, I don't know if Mark can put it on the screen so people can see it and we can walk through and describe exactly what's happening?
Yeah, Councilman Robertson, the information on an individual bill is confidential. I would strongly advise the council not publish anyone's individual bill.
Point of clarification to the Mayor Pro Tem and this council. Sir, I'm speaking. Sir, I'm speaking. The rules were read earlier to our citizens. This is a committee of the whole meeting. It's a dialogue between staff and council members. And if we get into taking bills now and trying to explain, that is not what this meeting is for. Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me. And so baby pardon? That may be true, but I'm speaking now. And so I hope that this council would respect the rules that was read at the beginning of the meeting so that other council members can have a say in this presentation.
Maybe you can give a couple of people special privileges to speak, and then you guys continue that way. We won't have this back and forth.
No.
I feel, communication is very important. When people feel like they're heard and they understand, then people do what they've been doing is supporting the city and the majority of the people paying their bills. So we had a failure in communication. And when it comes to the relationship with the people, like you say, you are our boss. So we should be communicating everywhere right now. That's why I want to say, we should be communicating at barbershops. I've been to barbershops, working with people with their bills. And we have to be at birthday parties, funerals, baby showers, weddings, wherever someone is at. We need to be there telling them the truth and being so transparent right now, especially with the situation that we are in as a city with this financial crisis. So I say, I want to hold town hall meetings, and I ask this council if we will, I want to read this because I hear your frustration. I've lived in the dark and had power turned off. I'm like a couple of, I'm not far from that. So I want us to be able to do town hall meetings. I had pastors from churches calling me. They didn't understand. And get people to understand. And let's do one-on-one with our citizens and help them understand exactly what's going on. So I want to do a town hall meeting. Pastor Parker in my ward, the True Tabernacle Church, he's opening up his church for us to do one-on-ones and small town hall meetings. We should do ward meetings where we have the leaders come out and the head of the utility and work with us and go through some customers' bills. I will give my bills so you can see exactly what's going on and show that you're not being double billed. So I'm asking the council if you all would support that we direct the manager to make the staff available to do town hall meetings. And I think we need to start doing them immediately and communicating with the public and letting them know exactly what's going on. Be so transparent. Be like that friend that just tells you everything. You be like TMI. Too much information. We need to be TMI right now and giving over the information to the public until we gain the trust back.
This question is for staff. In reference to the term double bill, has anyone that you have looked at this far been charged twice for the same usage?
No. I will refer to Ms. Christine Smith, who will be able to answer the question on how they're billed.
I just want to have point of clarity there. So my question is, has anybody been billed twice, which would be double, for the same month or the same usage period?
No, no one has been billed for the same usage period. There have been 2 bills, but there are 2 separate usage periods, which are defined by the reads on your bill.
Correct. Thank you very much.
No, Charles. Gotcha.
Go ahead, just ask one question.
Okay, I'll yield to you.
What does working with people on an individual basis look like? Like, how long do they have to pay their bills?
So with this particular issue, if a customer wants to extend the time that they need to pay, they have how much ever time they need to pay this bill.
So I'm sorry. The police officers in the building, I think I've gaveled. I think the next time we have that, we're gonna have to start removing people. Don't want to remove people, but we got to kind of move on with the meeting. So it's just, we can remove you and just hopefully that you listen, but we gotta get some order here.
That's why I feel it's very important that we do small town hall meetings so these people can come where they can have the opportunity to speak, because people are frustrated because there's been a lack of information and communication. So I'm advocating, if I get some of my other council members, that we do town hall meetings, we have churches, we have to make our message clear and get it to the people that can communicate. We have pastors that don't understand. Let's help them understand so their congregation can understand. We have social media influencers that we could bring in. I was at the utility building the other day, and I was talking to people and just explaining and showing them their bill. And as you walk them through it, all that anger just comes down. They say, oh, now I get it. We have to talk to the people. They're our boss. We have to have these town halls. We need to go everywhere people are gathered and let them know what the truth is about this. Total transparency.
May I please speak? So,
Councilman Dodson, and then you.
thank you. I'll wait.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. I agree that the communication has been awful. And it's disappointing that we're having to come to have a special called meeting so we can even the city council can try to understand what has gone on. I didn't understand what was going on, didn't know about it until we received the press release like everyone else, and still didn't understand. The only way that I was able to understand this was to take 24 months of my personal bill and put it in a spreadsheet to try to understand, along with the read dates, to understand what was going on. And my interpretation is things really started going south around May or June. And it was a difference between the average read date to bill date. And we almost doubled from 11 days to 22 days on my home. And then on another property I have, it went from 12 to 24 days. I think if you have the ability to get a couple of your bills, to go through them and write them down, it would help understand. I wish we didn't have to go to this, but it was clear to me, because when you put the read dates and the previous read dates in there, I would agree that we're not being billed for, we're being billed for the utilities that I used, I was billed for. So I wish the city, if we could do a spreadsheet, and it doesn't have to be a spreadsheet, but have several months of billing just with the dates in there. The dates alone would help all of us understand, or at least it helped me understand better where we are. How about that? Not how we got here, but where we are. So hopefully, Mr. Manager, maybe we could do that, and hopefully we can put some of this on the website, or maybe even up to Councilman Robertson's point, maybe do a video or a PowerPoint that shows this, because it's confusing when you don't have all your bills in front of you, or if you don't put it in one piece, like I did in a spreadsheet. I think that would be extremely helpful. It may not be, I don't know, but we can't get out of our own way, it seems like, and it's disappointing. Ms. Hall, on the auto drafts, people who are on auto draft that had their bill auto draft and then they get their next bill, it says it's overdue. What caused that? I mean, is it, or past due, excuse me. Okay.
What is reflecting on past due? Anytime we make a bill, it grabs the information in the system of what was the previous amount and it puts in it in past due if it was not paid. With the billing dates coming so close together, it recognized that that bill had not been paid yet and put it in past due, just because that is how the system is set up. It was not that that amount was past due, but that was the only holding place for that bill because of the bills being billed so close together.
So to make sure I understand correctly, I had a bill date of 12/17, which was after my 11/25 bill date, and then I had a 12/17, and then my 12/31 would have had the past due because you had not received yet my payment for the 12/17 bill date. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm glad to hear, Ms. Hall, that we're going to go to a 5-day on the meter reading. And hopefully we can be consistent. Hopefully we can be the consistent. Part of the issue is consistency, because as mentioned before, we've got a lot of us well, it doesn't matter whether you're on fixed income or you have means. It's the consistency that is needed so we can all budget how we do things. And I think that's extremely important, because when I did my spreadsheet, we're all over the board. We're not consistent. And I think that would help the city. I think it would help the citizens, our customers, to have clarity on how to budget. I mean, it's just, we got to budget our own personal finances. We've heard non-metered today. Can you address that, please?
So what we're going to do is go back and take a look at the examples of the gentleman that indicated non-metered services and review his concern to make sure that there's not an anomaly that we've missed.
Can you clarify to me what a non-metered,
Oh, I'm sorry.
please?
Non-metered services are stormwater. They would be your trash pickup. Yeah, wastewater would be billed based on your water usage.
Okay. Okay. Well, sir, I appreciate everybody, but the mayor pro tem is correct. We've got to get some clarity here. So I think it would be helpful if we could go through the meeting and I heard you because I've asked the question. So you are going to look at that, and then how will you get back to not only the council but the customers once you determine?
When we determine what the actual issue is that affected the non-metered services, we would then relay that information up to our superiors and then make the decision from those conversations on next steps and make sure customers are contacted.
Okay.
And Councilmember Daughtridge, if there's anything that the city has done that's inaccurate, obviously, it's like every other service, we would, reimburse citizens for that cost if it's in fact that they were charged twice for the same service. But that's not like she said, if that is the case, that's an anomaly. That's not been the case with all of the other things. All the other things were based on the timage, which what you pointed out in your analogy and your example with your spreadsheet is exactly what they made the presentation on the timing. Going back to the first quarter of last year, so even back in January of 2025, it was happening on a small scale. We didn't discover it on a large scale until the December time. And that point is when we went into overdrive trying to correct it. Could there have been better communications? Absolutely. I definitely think that we dropped the ball on the communication side, but we didn't have all the information and we were trying to get in front of it as best we could to make sure that council was aware. I think you said we were notified on the 15th. We made sure that council was on the 15th that something was going on. Even at that point, we didn't have all the research done. But now that we have all the research done, we want to make sure the facts, because we understand that residents are concerned, they're frustrated, and quite frankly, we are too. But we're trying to get it right, and that's the purpose of this today.
So in a typical year, let's forget 25. So in 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, how many bills do we as customers receive in 1 year?
13.
13. And can you explain why we get 13 and not 12?
Because we are on a 28-day billing schedule. The 28-day billing schedule divided by 365 days gives you 13 bills. It's not by the months, it's about the bill.
Okay, so, and that's because some months are, 30 days, some are,
31, and those excess days gives you that 13.
so if, so in 25, let's see, I'm counting right now, I'm sorry, I should have done this earlier, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So in 25, I'm showing that I've received, my New Year's Eve present from the city was a utility bill, but I received 13 bills. Okay. So I guess what I'm learning here is that matches the previous years of 13. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In some years, we may have a reduced year because you may have had that delayed billing happening
Right.
that came over a course of time.
And I would like to, I think the idea of having meetings is good to get clarity. I think around this particular issue, each one of us has a different bill, different billing dates. And I think it's going to be difficult for staff to go through, and I make an assumption here, so please tell me if I'm correct or incorrect. If it would be best if people came in or called on the telephone. No, let me fit. I understand it's busy. Trust me. I know it's busy. Trust me. I know it's busy. But we can contact and leave messages and schedule a call back. The reason I'm saying this is you have to go into the system and look at each one of our individual bills, just like I have right here. I've got my home and then one of my other properties, and they don't match up. So it would be difficult, I guess, to do that out in the field or not.
It would be difficult, however, if all of the customers that we're speaking to at one time are within one billing cycle, those dates would line up. But if you're looking at multiple billing cycles, yes, it will be difficult.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I want to go back to the resolution. So you got to reduce staff. You got more traffic. You got some staff answering the phone, different staff working the desk, and you working extended hours trying to accommodate everybody's issues. So how, solution-wise, if we're saying, and I think this is the only way, you can't work out everybody's situation in a room because everybody got a different situation. It's not all apples, it's not all oranges, it's a whole salad and there's some collards thrown in there too. So how do we answer individual requests on a timely basis? When I say timely, within 3 business days. And I'm just saying, is that possible with the staff you have, with the number of bills that have gone out, 26,000 customers?
No.
And if that's not possible, Councilman Walker, TJ Walker, put an option to this council about flexible collections, which I will say that I'm cool with that. We can also say, if you want to, forgive the past, and I'm cool with that. What I'm going to say is this. It's going to hit your bottom line. And what I don't want to hear, if we forgive from my counterparts, y'all can say whatever you want to say because you're the public. That's your job. It's your right. But what I'm saying, if we forgive that which has been used, discovered after the fact, and then build again, if we forgive that, we got to understand what the financial impact of that is and how we deal with that too. Because we can deal with it one or two ways. We either collect or we reduce services or more people. And so I'm saying that people still have to be paid. And Mr. Councilman Robertson, I respect the idea about the town hall meetings. We've all done them. We will continue to do them. We show up on a regular basis for meetings all across the city. If you're an elected official here, you show up to a lot and you explain a lot, and we always work together. But if we have a limited number of staff that can answer those questions, and they already are working 12, 13 hours and are stressed out because people are stressed out, then I don't know how we can expect those same people to come out in the community and talk again and again and again. So I do feel there's got to be some kind of flex that we all have to give together. And giving together, I think we can figure out how to address it. I think it's been very clear with what I'm hearing, unless I'm hearing something incorrect, that this was a process error.
Yes, sir.
It was a people error.
Yes, sir.
We, and when we received on December the 15th, because was it December 15th when that email went out?
Yeah.
What day was it? It was
15th.
December 15th. So, you know, it's not true to say we didn't know. We were informed, according to Ms. Hall, about the same day that she found out. It's just that our process said the bills have already gone and now we're coming back. So to me, that's a process review issue. And I want to say again, it's a technology issue. And we want to skip over the fact that we have technology issues with the city of Rocky Mount that we must address. And some of this with 26,000 bills that have gone out. How many people in your office today that are meeting people face to face?
3.
You got 3 people in your cubicles talking to folk. How many people on the phone?
3.
We got 6 people that are intimately aware of how this situation occurred and how to fix it. I don't want to use any analogies. I'm just saying that's crazy to think that we can get it done easily and well. And on top of that, stuff I've been hearing about how people are coming, some people, not everybody, you know, their anger, their frustration, and their fear translates into a negative working environment for everyone. So my questions to my council and to the manager and your team is, what do we need to do technology-wise in the interim? What do we need to do policy-wise to relieve the pressure of the double, and it's not double, let me take that word out of my mouth, of the additional bill that was received, for usage that was done but not communicated within the right period of time? And what would the financial liability be to the city if we either did a wholesale forgiveness of that period of time? And can you even calculate that? Can you calculate what you should be able to pull out, can't you?
Yes, we
So
can
we
calculate
should
the
be able to
bills.
pull that number out of our system and define what it is, and then figure out how that speaks to our bottom line, and then make a decision once we have that information about how to best deal with it and what the ramifications of it are.
Yes, sir. I will lean on the attorneys with regard to the policy side on what we can and cannot do from a legal perspective. From the finance side, we do have a finance director, and working with Latasha and her team, that would be easy for us to determine what that total dollar amount. But you mentioned something earlier, the impact and what that means to our bottom line and our operations moving forward. That's something that council will have to weigh.
But we'll have a number.
Yes, we can get you a number within the next few days.
We'll have a number.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Saul,
Yes, sir.
You indicated that you became aware of this issue December the 15th?
I became aware of the issue December 15th. Prior to December 15th, we received notification from another department regarding an ACH due date customer.
Okay.
When we received that information regarding the ACH due date customer, because of the due date on how it is spread to make sure it's on the same day every month, that was not the issue. Hindsight, we should have looked at more bills on outside of that particular due date problem.
Well, what I'm trying to understand and hoping get some answers to clarify for our citizens. The email, the notification that I got, I went back and read it, and I wish it had been more explanatory.
Fix it. And it was made then.
So you okay, well,
More information was given to you all. As I got more information, I gave it to the mayor and I gave it to the, but day in and day out, we're working with every individual that walks into that building, every call, even if it's a long wait time.
and some of them just don't even have the capability of sending an email, or they need learning. Some of them been trying. The meeting that we gonna have on Monday, perhaps, I wish we could have had a quickly called discussion before the switch was made. That's all I'm saying. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to the citizens that are working with us and trying to understand what has happened. And thank you, staff, Ms. Hall, for the work that you all are doing to try to correct this situation and taking the brunt of this, the cursing out, the name calling, the threats that none of y'all should get. And I want all of us to hear this in this room. Most of those are young ladies that's working over there in the business services. They're somebody's wife, somebody's daughter, somebody's granddaughter, somebody's mother. And they're being attacked. And if we're not careful, we don't want anybody to get hurt or to lose a life over a utility bill. So just think about it before you lash out to these reps that didn't have anything to do with the billing cycle, but trying to help the customer. Secondly, I want the council to also be mindful of SB 473. Look it up, but SB 473. Also, I want to say that the council, I have never seen, since I've been up here, a director of a department being raked over the coals in a council meeting. We did not do that when we found out that we were over $80 million in deficit. Hear me out.
How much?
We did not do that, but the budget manager, ma'am, I'm talking, okay? And officers, you heard what the mayor pro tem said. And if that was me, I'll be in handcuffs. Boy, back to you. But what I'm saying is, you hear me out, but what I'm saying, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, little Karen. If I believe what you said, I believe that all black people came from a monkey. Oh, excuse you, because you are pitiful.
Yeah.
You pay your bill. And so am I. She needs to be removed.
Yeah.
And I would like to finish my statement, but on December the 5th, ma'am, officer. Goodbye. Ma'am, have a blessed day. And for the rest of my statement, that, and if I'm hearing this correctly, when Ms. Hall found out about it, her job was to contact management, which was the city manager, which she did. He asked her to fix the problem. Then they went to the communication manager to craft language or an email to send to the mayor and the council, and I have it right here, stating everything that happened, from important things to remember, the impact on HCH drafts, and so forth and so on. That was December 15th. Summer staff was out on vacation, holidays, or whatever. Normally, council members would respond to something if we're not clear, but none of us responded to it. We received it as a communication. And in hindsight, when Ms. Hall had mentioned it, after I read this, I said, well, this is going to be a fiasco with this utility thing. And what should have happened, that the manager should have said, before you sent out the additional bill for the usage, let's have a committee of the whole meeting, such as what we're having, a special meeting. And we could have talked about it in that meeting prior to anything being sent out to the customer. We could have stated no late fees, no disconnect, forgive, or whatever. That would have been a discussion that the public would have seen us talk about in a committee of the whole. So to say that the council didn't know, we didn't know everything, but we knew enough to know that it was another bill that was coming out. And we didn't respond, whether it was we were out shopping, Christmas caroling, or whatever. That's the gospel. And so now we're here trying to fix it. And I hope and pray that with this, I have seniors in my ward as well, but they are understanding, trying to understand what happened. They're not lashing out. They were just saying, just help me. And I would say, if you cannot pay the bill, we already said no late fee, no disconnect. I said, but we are short-staffed because of the rift that we have. 3 people, I mean, you go to the Social Security office now on Hunter Hill Road, you got to make an appointment. You call the IRS, you stay on the phone half a day. That is not new to us in this 21st century. It just so happened to have it happen here. You can't even go to Duke customer service for those Duke customers, or even Edgecombe Martin, you have to drive 20 minutes. So we are saying no one is being cut off. Just be patient. I had a lady, I said, just be patient. Pay what you can. When they can get to you, they will help you. That's the best that 6 people can do out of 26,000 bills that have gone out. But they do not deserve to be called bees. They do not deserve for men to come up there and threaten them. Because if those 3 walk out, then we all would be in trouble. Because you will have nobody to look at your bills and to talk to you. So don't take your anger out on these ladies, and perhaps a man there, I don't know. But I'm asking you from the depths of my heart to work with the staff, council members. They call me, I don't know how to. We would get someone to help you. And that's what we have been communicating. But I just want to thank your department. We don't need people getting sick. We don't need people quitting because of this. This was an error. Ma'am, you can leave. That's what you need to do. I am focused, but she's hollering at me,
Don't
go,
forget
go.
it. Right. Just stay focused.
Goodbye.
Push. Yes, you are.
That's another Karen. But again, just be patient and work along with the staff. Thank you.
Just point of clarification, I did respond to the email and I sent it directly to city manager. Thank you.
Okay, good. I didn't see it on the strand.
So can I
It's
ask
not
one?
included on the strand. It was directly to the
You,
Good.
may I ask a follow-up question? Because I think I never had an answer about, until we can make a decision policy-wise about what that amount is and how to deal with that amount, what kind of assistance can be given to Ms. Hall and her team? Or what kind of assurance can we ask for from our public or request from the public? Because I'm assuming when you're online on hold, or if it rings busy, that's still a technology issue. Is that correct? Am I correct or am I wrong?
Yes, that is a technology issue. The phone systems that we have now, I don't know the particular number, but it only allows a certain amount of calls to get through. And then once we have those calls in kind of like a waiting area, then the rest of them, you will receive a busy line.
So that's part of the issue of people's frustration, is that they're trying to get in. They're either waiting, and then when they wait, they are not heard or seen or whatever. And then there are long lines, unusually long lines because of the complication of the situation. So what are we saying? Or are you going to wait till Monday to tell us what we're going to say? But what can we do to help our public understand? Don't freak out if you're at the due date point or the past due point of the additional bill that was received. Give us time to get to you. I think Latasha told us today you can put your information in a box or bucket or something.
If you would like, if you can put it on a note, you can hand it to us. We'll make sure that we're returning
That
calls.
someone will call you back. And that's what I've been doing for people who get in touch with me, because I can explain the general, but I'm not even qualified. I'm not sitting in front of a screen. I can't tell you what your usage situation is, and I cannot work it out for you. So I just send people to billing and collections. And when in my experience, I don't know about anybody else's, but my experience is that when those people that I'm able to refer talk to someone in person, their situation gets addressed. Now, the few cutoffs that I've heard about have been because of previous past due balances.
Correct.
So if people have been cut off during a period of time, and then there's some guidelines around that, right?
Correct.
We can't cut people off if it's a certain temperature.
Consecutive temperature of 33 degrees or less.
So we are regulated as well, related to temperature cutoffs. But I cannot speak to what I do not know. And it's not fair for any of us to be able to interpret for people exactly what's taking place. We can talk philosophy, but you don't know the individual situation until you talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. And we're limited in staff. And so I'm just saying, what's our answer to Ms. Hall's team, and what's our answer to our public?
Before we go there, I just want to segue one question, if you don't mind. How many of the 26,000 customers we have, how many different billing cycles are there?
23.
So 23. So of the 26,000, if you did one a day, it would take you 23 days to do it. I'm just trying to understand, but just segue with, how do we get to a solution? What are the limited resources we have to work with, and how do we get to a place that it brings us close to a win for everybody as we possibly can? So I was just kind of waiting patiently, and I'm sorry, but I needed to know that because it helps me understand where we're trying to go. And I'm sorry, Mr. Manager, I stepped in there, so please.
No problem. What I want to say is the assurance to the staff is that we are evaluating the technology request that Latasha and her team is requesting, and we will be presenting that to council pretty soon. Obviously, we don't know I don't know the exact cost of anything, but basically, whatever she needs to get her job done, that's what I'm trying to do to support her. And that's it. If it's something that's over my personal threshold, it's something that I will be presenting to council. Probably not at the next council meeting because we're already processed for that, but possibly at the very next one, we'll at least have that. And then we'll be going through budget season too. I will say that this is unusual high call volume regardless of the utility system because this is our end of the year for the taxes. So it was kind of, this is your peak season for you as far as people showing up and having calls. But now that that deadline has passed, I think it was either January 5th or January 6th, that call volume and visits will be reduced. So we still start to see some relaxed times, or I should say, shorter wait periods if you do want to show up in person. But I do think that the best way is to leave your information in some form or fashion. If you don't have access to email, write it down on a piece of paper, and we'll make sure that the people at the front desk get it. And then from a administrative standpoint, we may have some other staff and other departments that I may be able to move around or temporarily help us get through this short period. They won't be able to go into detail with the utility stuff, but maybe they could help with answer the phone and have some of the customer service stuff up front.
Thank you. So that's why I think communication, thank you for being here. We're on the same team and we're working to help you. You know, I've called you and I gave suggestions. I was down at the utility place the other day and I was there. I saw the frustration. And as people was coming out, I spoke to them and I asked Natasha, I said, listen, is this the situation? Once I got an understanding of it, I was able to share that with people that was coming out. I've been to barbershops. I went to the meeting last Saturday. It was more than 50 people. And when you talk to people and you show them with their bill, that usage, and this is how I explain it to people. And people want to pay for what they use. So I say, listen, my neighbor, he's 83 years old, maybe 84. And I went to his house and I took his bill out. I said, look, from the time they read your meter, right? And then the time, the due date, it was with him, it was 53 days. I said, the city is trying to get to 30 days. Am I correct, Sasha?
That's
So I
correct.
said, they're trying to get to 30 days. In order to do that, it's going to be a bill correction, the way they went about doing it. So when I explain this to people, from people in the barbershop to people, the other day, I'll show you a video. I'll share this with you, Councilman Blackwell. At the utility place, a lady came out frustrated, just mad, and I'll show you the video. And when I explained it to her, she had a Princeton shirt on. She went to Princeton. She said, I'm a very intelligent person. And when I explained it to her 5 minutes in the video, she said, I get it, I understand it, and I'm going to pay my bill. So if we communicate, we need representatives out here. The news is here. Heidi Kirk, WRAL. We should have our people with them. We have our pastors calling me of large churches that don't understand it. If we empower them and give them the information, just this way I've been able to go to barbershops and explain it to people. And then they say, okay, I get it. I'm going to pay my bill. So yes, she has a short staff. That's why we have to use all means to communicate and get ambassadors and representatives to go out with the knowledge. Let's give them the ammunition and let them go out, talk to their congregation, let the people go out. I go door to door knocking and explaining it to our seniors of what's going on. These people are willing to pay their bills. They want to be, they're down with the city. They love it. It's just a minority that don't want us to win. The majority of people love this city and wants to see this city win. So if we communicate and be open with them and show them, I went to my neighbor house, another neighbor, him and his wife, and I showed it to him. He said, okay, why didn't they just tell me this? Right? I said, you just told me I'm going tomorrow to pay my bill. So people are willing to pay their bill if they understand what the bill is. So that's why I say town hall meetings. I don't care if somebody's selling Avon, we need to be there with a representative communicating it there. The news is here. We need to have a representative and a spokesperson communicating it there. We need to give our pastors the ammunition they need to be our foot soldiers in the armies to go out here, because we're short staffed, to go out here and get the message across to the good people of Rocky Mount.
Councilman Knight.
Councilmember Roberts, I think that's what all the council members are doing. We are doing that. We are doing that. And we will do more wherever we need to do it.
Why haven't we spoke to WRAL?
Mr. Robinson, you keep speaking to WRL, you're gonna find yourself in a pickle. Just keep right on here, and I said it on record. The media is not your friend.
In
Thank you.
this case, I think they are. We're
Well-
communicating.
Doing what you doing. You are new. I can count them in the town hall meetings you've been to that we all done had. So you go out and do what you do, and we do what we do. We know how to communicate. We've been on the phone, at funerals, at churches. We all are doing that. And we thank you for doing that. It ain't like we ain't never done this before. Haven't y'all ward meetings? You just keep living. You gonna see.
I would just like the point of clarification. For all media requests, we have a media communicative director, and we've been responding to all media requests.
Ms. Hall, I do have a question. I'm over here. I guess you said when you first was aware of the situation, it was the ACH situation first?
Yes.
When did that come about?
The
Was that
AC
about? That was December, September, October?
About the mid or end? About the mid or end of November.
About, okay. Councilman Harris?
Yes, Councilman Robertson, you made a statement that there's been no one to talk to WRL. I think Ms. Kirk the other day published, I saw it written on their website. The mayor was quoted. And she had a short quote from me that I was hoping that there'll be a lot of clarification with this meeting today. So there have been some discussions with WRL.
The piece I see circulating on the media, on social media, is that they asked the city and the city gave no response. And that's all over social media, 252 Hood News and everywhere else, and the Concerned Citizen and all other social media sites. So if we want to get the message across, if we're not going to do our own infomercial, we have our own television station, we have friendly media, we need to go out and get the message to the people. Or else you see, you putting our staff at risk when you leave a vacuum of information. So you let the loudest mouths that say, oh, you're crooks, you're stealing money, and now you're using this to get money back. You let that message be the prominent message when you don't put out your own. Get in front of the narrative and tell the truth. Be transparent with the people. I mean, give too much information. They should know. I can tell people. I'll tell you when I went to sleep. Give all the information to people so they can feel confident that they have enough information. And like I said, with my neighbors, I'll share this video with you. I'm going to go down to the utility place today and talk to some more people. And it's proven when you talk to people and you give them the right information, they will pay their bill.
I want to make one thing and then I'm done about that. And Mr. Robinson, I'm not going tit for tat with you. But one of the things that's been told that you, the only council member that has been going inside the utility bill services, harassing the staff and making them feel uncomfortable. Let me finish. And we could no, I'm not spreading lies. They can answer that themselves. And the people that's wait a minute, you talk to me, don't talk to her. So what I'm saying, the ladies that are in customer service are trying their best under pressure to help the citizens without council members going inside, harassing them, asking them questions, videoing them, and recording them. And that's all I'm going to say, and we can finish this discussion when we get off this dais.
Well, don't lie
Councilman-
when you're on this dais.
I'm not lying.
Natasha, is someone have anyone?
No, you talk to me about that.
Councilman Walker?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
No, you lie.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
Point of order.
Councilman Dodges, what is your point?
Some decorum in here is what
We
I'm,
got it.
especially up here.
Okay, appreciate
We
it.
got it.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Hall, this is, I think Councilman Knight said it earlier about, I don't want this to be misinterpreted about you as the director of the department. That's just your role and you just happen to be in this limelight right now. I think one thing that, we need to do, and that hasn't been done, I heard you, Mr. Manager, talk about we will get it right, and we will get it right. And I have strong confidence that we will do that in this board, and with staff to be able to right our wrongs. But we haven't yet said, hey, first of all, we haven't owned up to we were wrong. We were wrong multiple, I think, times in this process. And the same way in which I had to own up in being wrong in some things under our last manager with some oversight of things that I could have controlled better on my end. I think we need to do the same here first by saying, well, it's not first because we almost at the end of the meeting now, but we need to first make it point that we were wrong in multiple steps. After that, I think, tonight's meeting, we've gotten to the point where we said, listen, we're going to look at our attorney's feedback of what our authority is as a board, which helps us with a resolution. But we've yet to let the people know we were wrong in multiple steps. And I think we need to do that tonight.
I'll be first to say that there were multiple steps that could have been done better. There's definitely opportunities to improve. We were wrong. That said, in the presentation, we stated that moving forward, these were the things that we were going to do to correct that. That was in the presentation. So, I don't know what else to say other than there were multiple failures in the process. I've personally talked to the director and other staff on how we need to correct those things, and we're going to try our best not to make the same mistakes moving forward. If there's anything else we need to say, I can, but that's it. It's in the presentation. If you can go back to that slide, these are the areas upon our investigation that were wrong. Moving forward, these are the things that we want to do to get it right. Now, will we get it right overnight? Not likely, but in time, we will get it right. But the key is we have a time from like February to March to where we anticipate this will not longer be an issue. We'll be dealing with other issues in the city, but that's local government. We will get things right. We'll get things wrong, but moving forward, we'll continue to get it right.
Mr. Manager, and I appreciate that because that hadn't been said verbatim about our wrongs. And I understand what's in the slides, but we thank you for admitting to our wrongs publicly. As Councilman Robinson says, media is going to do whatever they do. But one thing media will have to pick up tonight is we saying we were wrong. And we were wrong in multiple steps. And they also have to pick up the fact that we have and will do the best we can to right our wrongs. And so I'm looking forward. I'm supposed to be out of town Monday, but I don't have to cancel this flight, Mr. Attorney, because I'm looking forward to, and that's how serious this is, because I really want to go. But I'm going to cancel this flight or to get it delayed because I really want to be here to know what exactly our authority can be. And continue, I think Councilman Blackwell said earlier, continue to figure out how we can work moving forward together. One thing, again, I did not like, and our public can say it, I was 100% in supporting our last manager. I did not like how we continue to try to tear apart council in that decision. I'm personally going to be the first one to say, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I was wrong a lot under that last administration. But what I don't want us to do is to continue to constantly try to point fingers at something when now we've got an issue where I don't care who the manager is, I don't care who the director is, I don't care who the council is. We've got over 30,000 situations of people saying we look like we've been double billed and we look like we've got a financial problem or crisis with our utilities. And so that is the crux of the matter in this situation, to how we can come to a consensus together. And we're not always going to agree or disagree, but I don't want us to have a finger pointing, blaming like we did under our last administration, when the bottom line right now is how are we going to solve this problem?
Councilman Harris.
Manager Daniels, I echo what Councilman T.J. Walker said. Thank you for your last statement. Miss Hall, I thank you and your staff. I really do. I just hope the additional people, Manager Daniels, that you're going to try to move over to help with answering the phones, et cetera, that they be given some good talking points. I think it's critical that we all, your staff, be given some help in communicating the same answer as best as possible. And then if they can't because they're temporary from another department, they need to just say, I'm going to need to let you speak with someone else. And I assure you that person will call you back. Thank you, Ms. Hall.
Yes, sir. And we also have a sheet that our staff is able to go by to explain what happened.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes, I want to help you any way I can to empower the people that's out in the community. I said this before, but we have ambassadors that really want to see the city succeed, and they're on social media, the social media influence, the people in our community that has influence. If we can give them the information, I think they'll take a lot of the weight off of you and your staff. Because I've been there, I've seen your staff. I don't know, I'm leave that alone. But I've been there and I've seen your staff, and they're working hard for situations that they did not create. So I'm saying, empower me, empower your ambassadors, empower using the media. We have our own TV station. Let's put our information there. We have Bronson in his. We have WHIG where we can, if you worried about them changing your message, we can do commercials. Just let's get the word out to our people and let's get them the information. And I believe those people will help you do your job.
Councilman Walker.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And another thing, Mr. Manager, I think I'm a fan of AI. AI is here. That's the generation and day we live in. However, for this situation, can we try to refrain from displaying an AI video and let's put real people behind the cameras just for a situation of this magnitude? Because the AI, the AI video threw me off a little bit. But I think for the severity of this matter, I think if we put real people behind the camera, it goes over well with community in which we have that's very close knit.
The decision was strategic in that particular video that you're talking about, because time that we have putting our staff in front of camera is less time that they have answering phones and trying to resolve the problem. That said, once we get fully staffed in communications, we have someone that's going to be helping us with that. We will do our best to have live people when available to do that.
Thank you. And I don't know where we fell with the ward meeting decision like we had with our financial crisis, but I do know there have been various citizens that have requested that in whatever type of way we can make it happen to not be a burden. I do understand we do have to get to a solution, but whatever way we can make that happen as quick as possible, I think that will, as the financial crisis situation did, I think those ward meetings went over well as far as communication. I know we're on the back end of it now, but I think communication from this port, the same way you took the measures in the financial situation, I think those communication efforts with how we had readily up-to-date FAQs on our website, but the same measures we took, and I know this is a different situation, but the severity of it as it pertains to people is very similar.
Anybody have anything else to say? So Ms. Hall, we thank you for coming out. Most importantly, we thank the citizens and the guy in the green shirt. If somebody can get his information, get the information from him, and somebody from your department can reach out and connect with him. But I want to thank you for taking the time out. Thank the citizens for coming out. And we definitely will work on a solution. Come Monday, we'll start working and trying to fix this situation. This means adjourn.
That's a solution.